Hello and welcome to another edition of Weird News and Wacky History, a look behind the scenes at what's been happening through the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, the old history guy. Today's topic is Hooray for Hollywood. Roll 'em! We've all seen it in films about making movies. A technician holds up a funny black hinged board with writing on it, clacks it shut with a loud snap, and the director yells, "Action!" What in the world is that gizmo and what was its purpose? Hollywood has never recorded video and audio like your phone's camera or handheld camcorder does. The pros capture video with high-resolution lenses on film while the audio is recorded separately. That's why, if the scene is particularly noisy, say a street sequence or a loud factory setting, the audio can be altered without messing with the video. This is called ADR, either automated dialogue replacement to remove unwanted sounds, or additional dialogue recording to add subtle effects like footsteps, keys sliding into locks, and so forth. Invented by Australian studio head F.W. Thring in 1953, the clapperboard created an easily recognizable audio, sound, and video image to put the sound and film seamlessly back together again in real time. Traditionally, the writing on the boards contains such info as the date, production name and title, scene number, take number, and camera angle. These days, smart LED high-tech versions called digislates or smart slates are used with no snapping required. And here's a story from our game show desk. Jeopardy first aired March 30th, 1964 with Art Fleming as MC. Mary Eubanks from Candor, North Carolina won $345 in the show's debut. After a 3-year hiatus from 1975 to 1978, creator Merv Griffin revived it with Canadian Alex Trebek at the helm. So, how much do winners take home? The top single-day scorer was James Holzhauser, who pocketed a record $131,127, along with the second highest single-day score. In third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th in his 32 April and May of 2019 shows. Second place finishers get $2,000, while third place pockets $1,000. Your winnings will arrive as a check in the mail, often months later. The cost of U.S. and California taxes and covering your own travel and hotel stay, some winners actually lose money in the process, but they do get great bragging rights. So who's the biggest winner ever in Jeopardy? No, not Ken Jennings' $4.3 million in his 74 games in 2004. It was actually show creator Merv Griffin who composed the Think theme for Final Jeopardy as a lullaby for his son Tony. Griffin estimates that catchy jingle earned him royalties of $70 to $80 million. Now that's some real winnings. And while we're speaking of Hollywood, few landmarks are more all-American than the huge Hollywood sign in LA. But it was originally a promo for a new housing development named Hollywood Land. At 50 foot high, its 4,000 plus light bulbs flashed Hollywood Land before lighting up completely. Unveiled in 1923 and meant to last only 18 months, the film industry's popularity kept it standing. By 1978, land was removed, the H had toppled and been re-erected, the first O had broken in half, and the last O had collapsed. Playboy's Hugh Hefner quietly spearheaded a campaign to replace the crumbling letters, lining up 9 donors at $27,778 per letter. That's about $250,000 now. The offer was a who's who of Hollywood. The H was funded by a local newspaper publisher, while a prominent businessman underwrote the replacement of the D on the end. Rocker Alice Cooper redid an O in honor of his friend Groucho Marx. The founder of Kelley Blue Book covered the first L, while Gene Autry supported the second L's redo. Hefner paid the tab on the Y, while crooner Andy Williams sponsored the W. An Italian movie producer financed another O, with Warner Brothers redoing the last O. 9 letters, and so much history. And finally, let's drop in on one of Hollywood's highest paid leading actresses. Terry was a seasoned artist long before the cameras ever rolled on the 1939 film classic The Wizard of Oz. Born during the Great Depression, she debuted in 1934's Ready for Love, which was quickly followed by playing opposite Shirley Temple in Bright Eyes. Despite spot-on performances, she had no speaking parts. That's because Terry was a Cairn Terrier. Owned by Hollywood's great dog trainer Carl Spitz, she was cast as Toto because of her utter professionalism, including following hand signal direction from her trainer. She also did her own stunts. This so impressed the bigwigs at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer that they signed Terry on at a hefty $125 a week. That's over $2,500 today. Incredibly, she pulled in more than most human actors working on the movie. The Munchkins, including members of the Lollipop Guild, took home between $50 and $100 weekly. Only the main characters, Judy Garland, Ray Bolger, Bert Lahr, Jack Haley, and Frank Morgan, earned more than did Terry. Due to the popularity of The Wizard of Oz, Spitz changed her name to Toto. She attended the film's premiere at Grauman's Chinese Theater and made a total of 16 film appearances, passing away in 1945 at age 11. A true Hollywood grande dame. And that's about all the time we have for this episode of Weird History and Wacky News, a look behind the scenes throughout the years. I'm your host, Pastor Roland Moss, the Old History Guy, wishing that all your history may be just a bit weird.